Afternoon, folks. Welcome back. This is John Pettipas. It's 12:35 noon on still Sunday, the 18th day of April 2021. I've never done back-to-back videos. I'm doing it because they're related here. It's a second video. The title of this video is Coronavirus, Something Doesn't Add Up. Now, in Nova Scotia, we have our Dr. Anthony Fauci. He's the guru. He very knowledgeable, know everything. And about a couple of weeks ago, I seen him. Actually, I read it in the Halifax Herald. He was doing his daily thing, and he's 20 years plus, he's quoted as saying, of being a doctor. He's never seen a year when there's been a winter, so we have a cold climate up here, where there was basically no flu season. There was no flu season. The province of Nova Scotia essentially had no flu to speak of this year. No flu in Nova Scotia this year. So everybody's scared of coronavirus. But the doctor says, Dr. Anthony Fauci, Anthony Fauci said, excuse me, I just misspoken that one. Dr. Robert Strange. Dr. Robert Strange. All right. Dr. Robert Strange said that no flu season in Nova Scotia. Now talk about Dr. Anthony Fauci in the United States. The know-it-all guy. Okay, he knows everything. Listen to the science. My personal opinion in life today is that science is good. Science has led to much technological improvement in people's lives. It can be physics, chemistry, material stuff, technology, and medicine, okay? But I don't believe in these know-it-all guys. Dr. Anthony Fauci, just on the morning shows after church, 560,000 people have died. Here, Jim Jordan, you can't say that. You're knocking a pandemic here. Jim, pandemic. 560,000 people have died from coronavirus in America. Now, interesting thing of that is that this year, in publicly traded companies, there's three big major drug companies nationally in the United States. Like you have Lawton's regionally here in Atlantic, Canada. You have this SDM, Shoppers Drug Mart, nationally. I think there's a couple white or green drugstores in Western Canada is quite big. But anyway, the largest one in the United States is a company called Walgreens. Not Walmart, Walgreens. And they're pretty well everywhere. So they can sell you everything from curling irons, probably, I don't know if they even sell electric tools for people to do carpentry work with, but they have everything you want pretty well in a drugstore and more. Another big one is CVS, and the third CVS, the initial CVS, and you can get flu shots there and so on. And the third one's Rite Aid. Now, Rite Aid, here we are in the Sunday afternoon, 18th day of April. So Rite Aid drugstore would have reported their quarterly results sometime back in March. So this store is about 3.5 weeks old, less than a month old. And they didn't have as good sales this year and if you're listening to the conference calls in drugstores, it's something called the flu season. And the flu season was very low. Not going to say non-existent, but extremely low in the United States. And finally, if we're going to listen to the science, well, should we not listen to the math? So the statistics are out. In the United States of America, there's 2,840,000 Americans died in the year 2019. Now, there's 335 million Americans, and actually we'll be 350 before too long. But anyway, 335 million-ish plus Americans. So there's 2,840,000 people died in 2019. Now, if you look at CNN, CNN, they do everything but have the cheerleaders out. When President Trump was there, little thing in the corner of the screen, look there. It's 300, 400, 800. We just broke the 1K. Over 1,000 people died today. They do everything but clap. But now that you have Calamity Camilla from California, and you have Joe Biden, they just occasionally look at the screen. Now, Fauci was on one of the morning talk shows this morning, or a clip of Fauci, I should say, in his exchange with Representative Jim Jordan, a great congressman from Ohio, buckle in the Bible Belt state. And he said there's 560,000 plus Americans have died from coronavirus. Now, to be fair, by end of December, I think the figure was something like 300,000. So they're not all in 260,000 approximately of that 560,000 plus that have died would have died in 2021. So you can't count those. But grant me, I'm going to round off the figures here. I might not be exact, but I'm going to round them off. 300,000 people we're told died of coronavirus in the United States in the year since the outbreak was discovered in late January, February of 2020 to New Year's Eve, which would have been Thursday, the 31st of December. And that 11-month, 11-month span, there was 300,000 Americans died. Now, the debt rate, again, national debt rate in the United States in a year prior, for 2019, was 2,840,000 people. The national debt rate, are you paying attention now? These ones all think we'd listen to science. If we listen to science, we can listen to math. There's 2,820,000. So we have this awful pandemic with, Dr. Fauci just got finished saying, you're talking about that pandemic here. 560,000 people plus died. That's a lie. CNN did everything but cheer and have cheerleaders, I repeat, when it was President Trump as the president. But now, they take in, we had 2,820,000 people die in 2020. That's a fact. So there's 20,000 people less have died, yet there's 300,000 have died from coronavirus. Something doesn't add up. Now, we look at it state by state. We look here, I'm going to put New York City and State versus Florida. Now, you have that governor up there, and of course, he's Governor Andrew Cuomo. And he didn't talk about the people dying in nursing homes. He forced to go into nursing homes. And, well, the reason he didn't mention it because, quote, are you ready? President Trump would use it for political purposes. If a Republican governor ever pulled a stunt that Andrew Cuomo had pulled, oh my God, impeach him, bring the guillotine back. Work for Louis and Marie Antoinette, bring the guillotine back. We'll have a show trial and get him a trial in all in one afternoon. Okay, but he's Andrew Cuomo's is the governor. The former late governor of New York, Mary Cuomo's son, and his brother's on CNN, so we won't give him too tough a time, okay? I will, but the fake news won't. So to take the state of New York, city and state, has 18 million people, and the debt rate was just off the chart. I believe it's the largest or second most debts of any. So it's a compact city, to be fair, but that's in a colder state, obviously. In the wintertime, they have winter. A little bit milder than Nova Scotia, but they have winter. Lots of snow in upstate New York, for example, Buffalo and areas along the Great Lakes. So they had 40,000 people die in the state of New York, city and state. Now you go to Florida, and everything was locked down. Locked down, hard lockdown in New York. That's another key point, New York City and state. Florida was much more under Governor Ron DeSantis, much more laissez-faire, let the people make the decision, use some common sense. And it wasn't locked down near as hard. And they have 22 million people. So they have all the population of New York, plus Udatua, they have 4 million more people than what population is in New York State. And they take, in that state, has a fraction of the debts of New York. So Florida, with 22 million people, has a fraction of the debts of the state of New York. And Florida didn't lock down near as hard. Well, you can say, John, Florida's a hot state in the sunshine. The coronavirus doesn't affect you as bad. Okay, I'm going to grant you that one. If I was taking the liberal view, I wouldn't be allowed to say this. But now, we'll take the state of California, which is a pretty warm state, versus the state of Texas. California has approximately, it's not quite 40 million, 39 million people. The state of Texas has 29.8 million people. So just almost 30 million people. California, approximately the same. California, hard lockdown. Warm state, And Texas is a warm state. Governor Greg Abbott in the state of Texas, a very sensible, good style. Unlike Nancy Pelosi's nephew, one Gavin Newsom, who goes out to expensive meals at the laundromat. It's called a laundromat. It's a very high-end restaurant up in Sacramento, California, and he had 12 friends out, and bill was only $15,000 US before tip and wine charges. But I mean, who's counting? I mean, the man got to eat. The man got to eat. You can't deny him after being governor all day not to go and have a good time with a few friends and spend $15,000 for it to feed 12 people. I'm not making this up. That's a statistical fact. Anyway, Nancy Pelosi's nephew, Gavin Newsom, the Democratic governor of California, hard lockdown. Extremely high debt rate from coronavirus in that warm state, heavily populated state. And another warm, heavily populated Texas. Yes, unfortunate, any debt from coronavirus, but substantially less on a per capita basis. So to recap, something doesn't add up on this coronavirus. And this is what we face. Former U.S. Attorney General William Barr said, this is the biggest infringement we've ever had on civil liberties and freedom of movement in the history of the country, if not the world, which is coronavirus. And this is why, it ties with my video earlier this morning, these passports are a bunch of crap. They're a bunch of shit. Use the word for the word shit. Not good. So anyways, John Pettipas, it's a back-to-back video, and I got to wrap this up. I'm almost at the 12-minute mark, and it's now just about 13 minutes before 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and Sunday noon hour, which is the 18th day of April. Till next time, I want to thank all the viewers for your patience and watching, and share this video. It's got to be said, it's got to be discussed, and all you wonderful subscribers, you're greatly appreciated. Not one who's not valued and appreciated, but share it around and promote a discussion. With that, I got to go, and I wish you all the best, and God bless. Thank you very much. Bye for now.